Hi all, welcome back to more Unconditional Surrender. This is the training scenario 4. This is going to be my part 6. Same night, so I'm going to try and squeeze one more part in. We shall see how that goes. It might get there, it might not. So I've got a little green cube here saying no supply phase. Yeah, and remembering now that it should be the Western operations phase, but I don't think they're going to do anything. Again, I don't know. Bringing the BF across into France, I think we've got time to be able to wait and do that. It's not. I don't think it's any kind of mad rush, is it? We can't. You kind of know what's going to happen. I mean, the Germans aren't going to attack. How does the weather go? We're in October at the moment, aren't it? So November. Well, actually, the fact that the mild zone is severe in October. Yeah, I mean, to get a fair, you need a 1. Oh no, sorry, it's a 1 to 2. Yeah, it's a cold zone. 1 to 2 die roll. And then between December and February, you can't get fair, apart from the warm zone. So I suppose there's a chance in November, but then I'm out of place, haven't I? I've not got anything. I'm not ready. Yeah. We're not ready to take on Denmark or that. This is... Well, in saying that... Yeah, we're getting reinforcements in that, aren't we? What have we got? We've got 1 unit in the eliminated units box, 2 units in the mobilization box. Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, so we're starting to get other forces coming in, aren't we? Yeah, I think it's a slow process. I don't think it's something we could think, if we rolled a 1 in the weather next turn, think, oh, right, let's go and do something. Because we're not ready to go up there. We've not got any units ready. I did bring the first Panzer along, but we would need more than that. Excuse me. Sorry, I've got coughing a bit. I should really try and pause. I do try a lot, although it's not quite as bad as it's been, so it's not very nice for you to listen to, though, admittedly. So I'll try and avoid that if I can. Right, yeah, well, we'll just try and get things set up. I know this is kind of probably the sort of the dull bit that everybody's watched before, isn't it? It's the sort of, the start of things or whatever. I just want to try and get a bit of it done to make sure that it's okay for me it's working for me this way, because I'm just not up for 2-player games and try to do both sides. I'm just struggled with it. So, but up to now I feel like it's going okay. So we'll pod on for now, and I don't want to sort of start up right. Let's do the whole main event scenario and then get to where I am right now and think, oh, this isn't working for me, which would be a shame. So let's do this first, and if you don't want to watch this bit and I start up the main event, then you can watch that and just ignore this bit. But who knows? I might not get to that bit. Right, so no supply phase then. Well, there's nothing in no supply. So replacements again. So the Axis are going to spend... Oh, hang on. No, this is just the replacements part. So no units reduced, but they are going to sort these sorties out again. Spend 6 points to turn the 4s into 2s. Have I got plenty of points here? Because we've got 2 units in mobilization. Yeah, but we only need to keep 5. We've got 18 at the moment, so we spend 6, that's 12. Yeah, we've got plenty, haven't we? So we're going to turn the 2 4 sortie markers into 2 sortie markers. Yeah, another thing about playing this is I want to play it through and I want somebody to tell me you're getting that completely wrong, you know. Well, no, sorry. I don't want somebody to tell me that. I want somebody to tell me that I'm getting that right, yeah. Because sometimes when you hear nothing, you think, is it just that nobody's wanting to say anything? Or, I mean, they say no news is good news, but I think I've mentioned that a few in my videos, and then you do still sort of wonder if it's just because nobody's actually wanting to bother commenting and telling you that you're doing something wrong. Because I mean, I know that's out there. I made some comments recently in the videos. Other people had watched and hadn't picked up certain things, and then I went and picked them up, and then I thought, I mean, some of them were, you know, some of them you had to look into and carefully watch, right enough, but some of them were a bit more obvious, and I thought, well, people have watched this and they've not noticed that, but so that can happen, eh? It's not everybody that's got that eagle eye, innit? Okay, so that was replacements for the Axis. For the Western faction, yeah, there's all a lot of nothing, isn't there? They have nothing to do. I mean, don't get me wrong. Right now would be fixing the sortie that supplied that traced the supply for the Western Desert Force, because they actually have to trace supply down there. So I'm pretty sure we'd be now putting the sortie back, taking the sortie back off for the convoy that traced the supply for it. And yeah, there's none of that. We've not brought the BF across yet either. So okay, so moving on. Upgrade phase, right, there's no upgrade units. Mobilization though, so spend production points to mobilize a unit that is in the faction cards mobilization box, and or to buy back a surprise attack marker that is in the surprise attack marker holding box. Where is that about? Oh yeah, it is up there. It's just a big box like the rest of them. No. Yeah, but it's, I want to say it's 20 points, I think, to buy that back. So you've got to be kind of wanting that and prepare for that. And yeah, I'd be watching a lot of the stuff. I don't generally like watching. That's the thing about the way I'm playing that. I'm playing this on the actual physical board. And I don't like watching back digital versions, Vassal and the likes, and Tabletop Simulator and all that. But sometimes you have to. Sometimes that's the only stuff that people do, and I'm not knocking them for playing it that way, because there's a lot of pluses to it. You know, you don't need the table space. It's all set up. It's easier to maneuver things about, and you know, you're just doing it on your computer. But I just always, anytime I try and play it that way, like I was talking about Board Game Arena, it looks great. It looks great, that version of it, and it's going to be helpful for people to learn as well, even if you just want to learn the game. Just go and mess about with it yourself. But I just like, I couldn't do that. I was like, no, I want this map and the pieces and moving things about and whatever. And yeah, so how did I get there? I don't know. I don't know where I was going for. Mobilization. Right, I don't know. Don't know how I went off on that tangent. I can't remember where we started there. Okay, we'll just carry on with where we were. It might come to me. So mobilization, spend production points to mobilize a unit. So where's the... I'll just look at this off camera. So to mobilize... well, there's a few options here. To mobilize a reduced... excuse me. Mobilize a reduced leg ground unit. It costs you 1. And to mobilize a reduced mobile ground unit, it costs you 2. Mobilize a fighter's convoy, it's 4. Sorry, it's 3, but then they come in with 4 sorties. Same for a bomber and surface unit, but that costs 4 coming in with 4 sorties. And a carrier would be 5 coming in with 4 sorties. And the surprise attack marker is indeed 20. It costs 20 points. So right, so how many is there? It's only 2 anyway. There are 2 reduced leg units, aren't they? So it's only going to cost us 2 points, taking us down to 10 still, which is fine. So we're going to bring these 2 out of the mobilization box, and I'll find out. They need to go. I want to say it's a main. They need to go in Germany, in a German city, in the mainland, I think. Right, mobilization. This page 29. Now, I don't have my tab. Well, it is over there, but let's just hope for the best here. I do feel like I will. Well, I'm going to pod through this training scenario, and then if I do kick off a full campaign of this, that's going to be a long project, by the way. I mean, this in itself, what I'm doing, the first year of the war, is going to be quite a long process in itself. So if I was to take on the full campaign right through the whole war, this would be huge, and I need to know that this would be set up on this table for quite some time, and I'd probably have some other things set up on my other table as well, so it'd be something that'd be sitting there for a while anyway. But yeah, but if I do get around that, I will print out the new version of the rules. So I've not checked if mobilization is, if there's any errata to this, so fingers crossed that it's all alright. I'm just basically looking for the mobilization location. A unit can be put in a friendly city in its country's mainland area. And that's all we need to really know for now. If a naval unit, it must have a port. A unit gets into its mobilized end at turn phase. Yeah, it's pretty straightforward. So a mainland friendly city. Yeah? Okay. So we have 2 of them. We've got the 6th Infantry Army and the 12th Infantry Army. So, and remember, we can't stack. Well, we're wanting to head west, aren't we? Well, no, we're not really, are we? We're wanting to go that way. We can actually, yeah, we can put somebody in Hamburg, so let's do that. So that's a convoy that's in there. So we'll put the 6th Army in Hamburg. And yeah, maybe just put the 12th in Bremen then. Because our next sort of port of call is going to be Denmark. And there's the border to Denmark just there, I believe. That hex is the other side of it. Yeah, so we can move in there and then declare war and move in. I want to say that Denmark only have 2 national wills, so, and then I want to say also they only have 1 unit, and you've got Aalborg as one of their cities, and Copenhagen's their capital. So that 1 unit is going to struggle to cover both of them, but so getting in and taking that might not be so bad. However, the weather is definitely in effect getting across to Norway, so that can be a bit of an issue. But we also need to get these guys back to full strength. So, and we can't do that this turn because you'll notice the mobilization step comes after the replacement phase. So they're reduced units at the moment, which is, that makes sense. Let's do it that way. So next phase is going to be diplomacy again. So we need 5 more points. We've got, what did I say, 10? So we are going to spend 5 of the 10. And yeah, we're going to go and draw a chit out of the cup. Because remember, well, there's our, I don't know, maybe I'll make something a bit more professional and come the future. That's the 3 units that are in the Diplomacy Cup marker holding box, shall we say. So we know that there's still 3 no events, 2, is it 2 or 3 political successes? 3, isn't it? I think it's 3. Well, you can have a look, Grant. Oh, and then we've got a pro-axis marker on there as well. 1, 2... Yeah, so you get 3 political successes, probably see them in there, and 1 failure, and then there's 3 more no events because there's 6 in total, and then you get the 2 area seized markers, and then we've got a pro-axis marker there as well. So we've got a good chance of drawing something good out of that for us. I mean, we want a political success or the pro-axis marker. We don't want any of the other stuff. So we're paid our 5. So here we go. I'm just shimming them about that. But I've got them at a good range, so I'm not peeking or anything. Right, here we go. Oh, come on. Really? That's the 4th no event then. So over the western side, I think they want to draw as well, because if they draw a political success, they can... I want to say they can take that pro-axis marker that we put in Budapest and Hungary. They can remove that, kind of stopping us from then getting Hungary. And remember, part of our win condition is to have an ally at the end of the game. Anyway, the UK are going to spend their 5 points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And they're going to draw out the cup. So here we go. Yeah, well, they got lucky with that. So, okay. Right, so political success, right, well, what does that mean for them? And what is it they can do exactly? I'm going to have a look. Right, so I didn't really want to... The fact that there's that much blue stuff in that part, I thought, well, let me get the tablet back out, really. So, political success... faction applying political success, restricted political success, or unrestricted political success. Right, this is just a political success. Must do one of the following. Turn friendly enemy, right, okay. Select a neutral country anywhere on the map that has 1 or 2 enemy pro markers. Remove 1 pro marker from it. Okay, so what that means is, right now we could, like I say, there's a pro-axis marker in Budapest and Hungary. We could use this political success to remove that pro-axis marker, stopping the chance of Hungary becoming part of the Axis. Or we could select a neutral country anywhere on the map that has no enemy pro-faction marker, and it shares a land border with an active friendly country. And then it says if the Western faction is applying this event, it can instead select a neutral country sharing a sea zone with an active friendly country rather than sharing a land border. Okay. And it's not restricted, it's not unrestricted. Yeah, okay, so that's basically that, isn't it? And then you place a marker. Yeah, and I think all this blue bit is to do with this restricted and unrestricted stuff. That's a new thing. So, yeah, let's have a look here. Right, so just looking across here and yeah, an active friendly country. So you've got the you've got UK. So in actual fact, that Northern Ireland's part of UK. You've got Ireland. You could put a pro-action marker, a pro-Western marker, isn't it? So it'd be one of these instead. And just as an example, in Ireland, you've got Spain, which is one of the ones thought of. Although was Spain not one of the ones that was coming up there is needing 3 successes or 3 now since I've changed it. Is that what I was reading there? I think it is. If the selected neutral country has no pro-faction marker, put 1 in it. But however, if it has 1 friendly pro-faction marker, and it's not Italy, Spain or Turkey, so yeah, that means that Spain, Turkey and Italy must need 3, whereas before they needed 2. So that's obviously the change that they made, making it a little bit trickier for them to get involved. Okay, so but I mean Spain would be, because Spain borders France and that's a friendly country, but also it talks about being bordering on a sea zone. So the UK actually borders Spain with sea zone 7. But anyway, it borders France, it's fine. Is there other options? Well, if we were allowing Italy to possibly be part of the Allied faction, then Italy borders France as well. So if we were allowing that rule, we could actually put this in Rome, But again, this needs 3 as well. Spain needs 3. Is Portugal doable? Don't think it is, because Portugal's in sea zone 16 here. So I think it's just, did that say adjacent sea zone? Can instead select a neutral country sharing a sea zone. Yeah, it needs to share the sea zone. Get your words out, Grant. 16. So yeah, whereas Spain shares sea zone 7 with the UK from Plymouth there. Portugal doesn't. No, it doesn't. So Portugal's not an option. Is there anything else that, I don't think so. I think we should probably just target Hungary and stop them from getting that. I mean, we do know that they need an allied country to be able to win the scenario. We need to know that as well. I mean, it's meant to be a 2-player thing here. We need to know what their objectives are. So, shall we do that? So, if a target, if it has a, right, where's the bit that says, can I do that? I'm sure I just read that I could do that. Yeah, select a neutral country that has 1 or 2 enemy pro-faction markers. Remove 1 of the markers from it. Yeah, okay. So yeah, that's what we're going to do. We're going to use that political success to remove that pro-axis marker. So that's, whereas the Germans thought this turn that they might be having Hungary joining them, they drew a no event, and then the UK drew a political success and removed their pro-axis marker. Remember, the Germans do still have a pro-axis marker in the cup. So, right, and then the Soviets, they draw. They actually draw from the cup, don't they? It said that in the conditions and the rules, but as long as there's an area C's marker in the cup, they'll draw. So we're going to draw. See what they get. Right, they do draw an area C's marker then. So what happens there then? Okay, there isn't much blue in this, but I had it still open. So when this marker is pulled from the Diplomacy Cup, if the Nazi-Soviet pact policy has ended, well, it's not. It's still in place. So otherwise, regardless of which phasing faction pulled the marker, the Soviet faction must do the following. Sorry, Axis or Western faction, better luck next time. Select a country with a USSR disputed area that has not been ceded to the USSR and is either neutral or an active Western country with no Axis unit in it. If no country meets the above criteria, put the area seized marker on the diplomacy cup marker holding box. Right, there's a 2 or 3 of them I want to say that benefit the I think it tells us in here that benefit the Axis. Yeah, it tells us here. Well, hold on. What was step 2 was that disputed area is ceded to the USSR, put a ceded disputed area mark on the Soviet faction card. That's all we're going to do with that, because nothing else is going to change, because the Soviets aren't really involved. Chris, well, actually, no, it tells us to skip step 3 and 4. Now that I'm remembering that, isn't it? It tells us in the training scenario instructs sort of rules. It says, if area seized is pulled, do not perform area seized steps 3 and 4. Yeah, because we don't need to increase our will and we don't bother with ground units. So, but I want to come here because this is what is going to decide on what country we pick, because it says if selected country was Estonia, Latvia or Lithuania, it ceases to exist. Remove all pro-faction and or strict neutrality markers in it, if any, and remove all its counters from the scenario. So that one's fine. So I think they're the ones we want to pick, because the other ones, if the selected country is neutral and is not Estonia, Latvia or Lithuania, do the following. If it has no pro-faction marker in it, put a pro-axis marker in its capital. So I want to say we want to avoid that, don't we? So we want to pick either Estonia, Latvia or Lithuania. And then basically that's it. Because if we pick one of the other ones, the Axis is going to get a pro-axis marker on it. So it seems like a no-brainer that I don't pick the ones. So I want to pick Estonia, Latvia or Lithuania. And I'm not really sure about, again, sorry I haven't played the game enough to know that what all these are doing. So I'm going to pick the nearest one to us. I'm going to pick Lithuania. I think that's one of the ones that the Germans could have what are the other ones then? Well, they're in here. Bessarabia and Karelia. Karelia, is that the one nearer Finland, I think? And Bessarabia is further down. It's down here. So these are the ones that the Germans could get pro markers put in. So I'm just going to go for Lithuania. So I'm going to bring this out and it's going to go up there on the ceded areas for the Soviets as well. So, and by doing that one, it doesn't do anything more than just by placing a marker. But if it was other ones, I suppose we're going to be limited. Eventually we're going to have to pick them, then we're going to have to put pro-axis markers on that. But until then, we can just mess about with the other ones. I think it's not going to affect things. Okay. Right. Good stuff. Oh, that's at the end of the turn now, isn't it? So diplomacy phase, victory check, end of turn, advance the turn marker, put any counters, doesn't look like there's any, and then move all units in a faction cards, eliminate box that's mobilization box. So we're moving on. Oh, there is one, yeah. So we get an airdrop marker. So we're moving it in November, and we get that airdrop marker for the Germans. So airdrop is an event, so it's going to go in here. And any eliminated units will drop down in the mobilization box. So there we go. That's one of the garrisons we'll be able to get back next turn and be able to place them into places and free up some of our field units. No, the home defence needs to have the field units, isn't it, as well? Yeah. Anyway, they'll be put to some use anyway. Okay. So moving on to November 1939, where the weather's probably, unlikely to change by much. That's only 30 minutes, but I feel like I'm probably near the end of the night anyway, so yeah, I think it's probably best to just stop there. So nothing wrong with a little short part. Usually my parts are a bit bigger, but it just depends where you end up and where you are. This is one of the games where you want to end in a spot, I think, where you want to remember what you're doing. One of the last games, Carrier Brat of Philippines Sea, I played sequence of play, had brilliant sequence of play where I was able to just leave the marker there that was tracking it. You could be away for a week or two and come back and you would know exactly what step you were on. I'm not knocking this game for not having that. I'm just saying that it's one of the things that's good. You know, if I went away the now and I was in the middle of... To be honest, if I was in the middle of the Axis operations and that, and I had come back and seen that, I would know that I was in the Axis operations and this unit had been activated. That would be fine for me, but it's nice to have some kind of... There is a sequence of play, though. You know, I can always put a cube here, like I said. Different colour cubes. If I was on the operations phase, put a different colour cube to decide what I was on, as long as I knew. Well, I think I was going to put a green one for the Allies and whatever, you know, as long as you know where you're at. Eh? But yeah, I suppose I'll just leave it at that for now. And then come back tomorrow, and then we're going to start heading across to the west and then look at how we go about Denmark and Norway first. I think that's something you need to do separately, and that's why the training scenarios are. Training scenario 1 is take Poland, training scenario 2 is Denmark and Norway, and then 3 is Netherlands, Belgium and France, and then 4 is everything. Is all what I've just said. But it was just because it was incorporating the diplomacy bit in it as well, and I didn't want to sort of like put too much on my shoulders. So yeah, hopefully I can keep plodding away and get through all this, get to the end of that, and then we can see. And I'm not saying that if I don't go ahead and start playing the full campaign, that doesn't mean to say that I've not enjoyed it, because I'm enjoying it up to now, and I've been wanting to play this game. So it's just the problem is I have is it's a 2-player game, but I'm okay now. I'm okay. It might get tougher. I mean, to be honest, I've chosen not to do anything with the Allies, and some of you might be sort of like saying, hello, what's going on here? This guy should be moving here and this guy should be moving there, but I don't think so. I think we're just waiting on the Germans coming, aren't we? Apart from a little bit getting this guy across, I think. I dare say that can even happen after the Germans actually make a move. Probably. Yeah. It's probably better to get ready beforehand. Anyway. Right, okay. Yeah, that better be me for tonight. I should still get back tomorrow for some. So hopefully get back to it then. Okay, cheers.